two twin passions. One of them's communication, and the other one's technology. And I'm hoping that by talking about the two of them and interweaving my experience and my journey as a social entrepreneur, you'll come out with some tips and some inspiration to go off and do something like that yourselves, just like the last person said. Every entrepreneur starts with a problem that they want to solve. It has to be a problem that's a really urgent need. And then when there's something really urgent, that means lots of people, will come forward and they'll pick it up, and then you can make some turnover. So this is the problem that I'm trying to solve, and a few others as well. 1 in 10 children in the UK enter school with a speech, language or communication need. That's 2 to 3 in every classroom. And then there's 1.19 million people in the UK with a learning difficulty. Now all these people struggle to express themselves. You do have technology out there, and there's been touchscreen technology for a long time in this area called medical devices. They tend to cost £10,000, sometimes even more. And then at the other end, you've got speech and language therapists, teachers, and parents spending a lot of time, which they don't have, laminating pieces of paper and using Velcro strips. So there's definitely a place in the middle there. And I'll tell you about how I came up with where I went there. So 3.5 years ago, I used to work for a charity called the Makaton Charity. Now they own a language program of signs and symbols. Now I'm hoping there's some of you here that have children under 5 or know any children under 5, and you might be fans of Mr. Tumble. Can have a show of hands if anybody knows who Mr. Tumble is. Okay. So he's the most popular children's entertainer on TV, and one of his programs is called Something Special. And in that program he uses the sign language and the symbols, and 500,000 people watch it every day, so it's very popular. And that's Makaton. And while I worked for this charity, it's a hugely popular language program. It's been around 35 years, but was only available in printed format or on videos, so no real digitisation or anything like that. And I took a lot of phone calls from parents and teachers and speech and language therapists going, well, the iPhone's come out, so this is like 4 years ago. Wouldn't it be great if Makaton was on there? And over a weekend with my co-founder, we mocked up an example on a phone and showed it to a few teachers when I was at a conference the next week. And they said to me, it's great to see Makaton there, but that's too small. It will end up in the toilet, with all our kids. And they'll throw it and it will get smashed, and that's no good. And so I was like, back to the drawing board. And then in February 2010, and this is how you can really have eureka moments. Lots of people say to me, I want to do my own business, but I don't have any ideas. Just keep your mind open. Because what happened to me was Friday evening, glass of wine in one hand, sitting on the sofa, just really relaxed and chilled after a busy week at the charity, just watching on my laptop, as well as watching the TV. I tend to do a few things at once. And was there with my wine too. And Steve Jobs had done he'd just announced this new iPad. And lots of people were going, it's an overgrown phone, nothing will ever come of it. And I watched him and I saw him hold his hand up and the relative size of the screen to his hand. And I thought, that's it. I'm going to jack in my job. I had a really good job at the charity. But this isn't, I think this is it. I'm going to put everything I've got, all my savings, all my energy. And I said to my co-founder, I went, let's do this. I really think the future is technology in this area with special needs in early years. The kids are going to really take to this. It's so tactile. I want to put everything behind this, and I did. And I quit the charity. I told them what I wanted to do, and they left. I left with their blessing. And then I spent the next 12 months doing a lot of research and proving that the iPad was beneficial, using with people with special needs and very young children, that it wasn't going to do any damage, and that we could speed up language development, language acquisition using Makaton. So I'm going to tell you a little short story about some of the people that I've seen over that journey. You've got Alex here, who's 5. And he was born prematurely, so the throat muscles hadn't formed properly. But he's an excellent signer. Now this was fine when he was at nursery, because everybody got used to him, but when he went to a new mainstream primary school, no one could understand his signs. So while the speech and language therapist was working on his speech and his vocals with him, he needed a path to integration. So using the iPad, with Makaton on it there, you can see it, he's signing, he could show his peers in that classroom, these were signs like Mr. Tumble, and like, oh yeah, I want to learn them too. So he became really cool because he had an iPad in his classroom and he got so much more integrated. And then, 6 months later, his speech had come on and he didn't need it anymore, but it gave him that chance, that's those 6 months when you first go into a school, to feel a chance to be involved and integrated. Then you've got Charmaine, and Charmaine has autism, and she had found nothing that would work. All her sisters had, Nintendos, and she had nothing, no device that was really hers that she could own that would know better. But when she got the iPad, that was her domain, and she really was the top dog on it, and showed her sisters, exactly how this is how it works, and this is how I can communicate. And she was using it with scheduling, so to help her get through the day, so she could feel empowered and in control of what was happening next and communicate to people. And then you've got Daisy. Daisy was born with no issues at all, but then at 6 weeks old she contracted meningitis and now has global development delay. And the last time I spoke to her mum, she told me that for every year that she gets older, she loses a couple of words. And at 7, when I filmed her, she had only 7 words that she could put in a sentence. So it was gradually reducing. So they needed some. And you've got Finn. Now Finn's 3, and he's been using it for language acquisition and helping with his pronunciation. And he used it just for about 6 months, just to speed him up. He had some speech delay and pronunciation issues. And when he went into reception, within 6 months of using this, and again, like Alex, using it to help with integration, he was absolutely fine. And now Richard's a special story. As you can see, he's a bit older. He's 19. Now, until he had some focus time with an iPad using Makaton, he already used Makaton in his life, everybody thought he could only communicate spoken word at 1 word level. So that's water, toilet, milk. Now, what happened was using the iPad gave him focus, and they found out he could actually communicate at 2 word level. Now he's 19, and nobody knew that. His parents were over the moon that he could actually put 2 words together. And now the speech and language therapist is working on having 3. So it was a massive jump in his communication for him, and it all started at 19. Next, I'm just going to show a quick video of filming at the school, the college that Richard's at, so you can see it in action. And these young adults would normally be doing this with pieces of paper, and it was the end of the day, and they normally get really tired and frustrated. But this went on for a whole hour. This is just a 3-minute section, so you can see the focus and the teamwork.
I wanted to find out how good the iPad would be as a teaching and learning tool within a session of students. And so we've tried it in a Makaton group, which is actually late in the afternoon. It's 4 till 5, and often the students are sleepy at this time. Within the group, we've been learning Makaton signs and symbols, and what they've been doing with the iPad, they've been working as teams, and they've been matching symbols to symbols, they've been matching pictures to symbols. And what we found is they've really been working as a team. They've been encouraging each other. They've been learning symbols. They've actually been spontaneously looking up how to make signs themselves on the iPad. They've had lots of fun, lots of excitement, and they've really enjoyed the sessions. Let's see if we can find this one. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Fingers on the button.
Sugar.
2! Well done. Did you find the sugar?
Can't find it.
Let's go back
How fast are you feeling now, Ben?
again. Are you ready, Ben? Ready, steady. Come on!
Come Ben.
Chips.
Yay! He was quick.
Chips.
Yeah, really quick then. Okay, next. So do you know what that is?
teamwork going on here.
Bread.
Well done, Alice.
How do you sign that one? How do you sign bread? What's it?
Bread. Bread.
Two fingers on bread. Really, just once, two
Do that,
fingers.
please.
Bread.
Oh, can't do it. That's
That's
two
good.
fingers on
That bread.
So I want you to count how many cards you've got in each team. So there's one extra for that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
And 7 with the drink.
7. Got 7.
Good,
13. Yeah. So which team's the winners?
Yay!
Are we the winners?
We winner!
Yeah.
Loser! Loser! Loser!
No competition.
No.
It's a language program of signs and symbols with speech as well. So the signs work is as you're speaking, it's helping to break down the understanding of the word because it's gesture based. And then after the word is spoken and the sign's gone, the symbols remain concrete. They act to help with memory and recall. So the two together help to encourage speech and help people to learn speech and language and communication that would otherwise struggle. But this to return now. So I started off, like I said, 3.5 years ago, and I spent 2 years in a bedroom, a back bedroom as well. So it wasn't particularly, an overnight success. It took time to convince people that an iPad would be a success in this area and that this is the way forward. And there's still many more things that I want to do in this area. But I've been very lucky. There's a lot of support out there if any of you are interested in social issues, which is, I guess, why I'm called a social entrepreneur. So areas of health and education particularly, all the time I'm seeing problems. So again, it's about solving a problem when you have a business. A good business is solving a really pressing need, and there's plenty out there. We started off, just there's 2 of us, me and my co-founder, and then slowly added a 3rd person, and we got support from a charity called Unlimited, a charity for social entrepreneurs. So there is support out there, and they provided us with a grant which enabled me to continue to do this because I was running out of savings. And then after another 6 months, I got into a commercial accelerator, and I was the only social entrepreneur in there. But it was really good, really fast. Everything moves fast once you go in one of those things. And then this summer, we managed to raise investment from a group of angel investors, not just any angel investors though, but social impact angel investors. So people who are not just looking to get their money back somehow, but also it has to have a massive social impact on society, and that's what they want to put their money into. So although we talk about money, there's a lot of people out there who are wealthy that really do want to do good stuff and help people grow sustainable businesses like mine. And now when I look at this, I can't help but smile because I'd left all these this afternoon working away. Was 2 and a bit, and that's what we are now, and we're all working really hard to build new technology solutions to help more people with their communication. I couldn't be prouder, and I have to pinch myself sometimes that I'm actually stood here, because 2.5 years ago I was a senior manager at a charity. I was stuck behind a computer. I didn't really do any public speaking, you've got to be joking. I love to create things, but my life's totally changed. And although I'd be shocked to think if I saw myself now 2.5 years ago, but I really wouldn't change a thing. So if any of you are thinking, you've got an idea that you want to do something, I really just do it, because it's incredible. It's an incredible journey. It's not always big highs, but the highs way outweigh the lows. It's incredible, and the impact that you can have on changing people's lives. You just want to do it all the time. When you get up in the morning, you're rushing into work. You really want to do it. I feel sad because I've left them to it. But I know they're as passionate as me about it now, and they really want to help people too. It's amazing. So if you do have an idea, particularly I'm biased if it's in health or education, we really need more social entrepreneurs, more people sticking their necks out, solving problems like this. The government isn't going to be able to afford to keep doing it. We need to step in and build sustainable business around all these social issues. So if you're thinking about it, please do it. Thank you.